After that, for a long period of time, I was not predicted. He said, "What was that time? What was the measure?" The Blessed One said, "Sarvashuddha, listen. A countless eon after that, the Tathagata, Arhat, perfect and complete Buddha Dipamkara arose in the world. At that time, at that moment, I was a Brahmin youth named Megha. At the time when Tathagata Dipamkara arose in the world, I was practicing celibacy in the form of a Brahmin youth. Then, when I had seen Tathagata Dipamkara, I scattered 7 Utpala flowers and dedicated to unsurpassed perfect and complete enlightenment. And that Tathagata predicted to me, 'Brahmin youth, in the future, in a countless eon, you will become a Tathagata, Arhat, perfect and complete Buddha in the world, named Shakyamuni.' After that, Sarvashuddha, I sat in the space above at a height of 12 palmyra trees and attained the state of forbearance with regard to unproduced phenomena. Just as if it were yesterday or today, I remember directly all those roots of virtue from when I practiced celibacy for countless eons and was endowed with the perfections. Furthermore, Sarvashuddha, I established countless hundreds of thousands of myriad millions of sentient beings individually in virtuous Dharma. Therefore, Sarvashuddha, now having been manifestly completely enlightened into unsurpassed perfect and complete enlightenment, what need is there to mention that I wish to benefit all sentient beings? Sarvashuddha, I teach the Dharma in many ways to sentient beings. Whatever the form by which they are to be subdued, I teach the Dharma in that form. In the world of the Devas, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Deva. In the land of the Nagas, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Naga. In the land of the Yakshas, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Yaksha. In the land of the Pretas, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Preta. In the world of humans, I teach the Dharma in the form of a human. To those sentient beings who are to be subdued by a Buddha, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Buddha. To those sentient beings who are to be subdued by a Bodhisattva, I teach the Dharma in the form of a Bodhisattva. By whatever form it is that sentient beings are to be subdued, I teach the Dharma in that very form. Thus, Sarvashuddha, I teach the Dharma to sentient beings in many ways. If one should wonder why that is, Sarvashuddha, it is because just as sentient beings hear the Dharma in many ways, so too those sincere sentient beings will make roots of virtue in many ways. They will engage in acts of generosity. They will make merit. They will also go without sleep for their own sake. They will meditate on the mindfulness of death too. They will do such virtuous actions as these that are to be done. Due to having heard the Dharma, they will remember these previous roots of virtue. That will come to be for the long-term aim, benefit, and happiness of devas and humans. Sarvashuddha, that being so, as soon as a Sanghata Dharma Paryaya is heard, the good qualities and benefits in this way become immeasurable. Then those sentient beings spoke to one another. They said, "There must be something else also that, by having done and accumulated it, one will be manifestly completely enlightened in the unsurpassed perfect and complete enlightenment, and the result of the virtuous Dharma of wanting to benefit all sentient beings will ripen." Those who have come to trust in the Dharma will say, "There is a Dharma perfectly in accord with things as they are." The great ripening result of their virtue will be the unsurpassed happiness of the Dharma. As for the ignorant, foolish sentient beings who say that there aren't any Dharmas and there is no passing beyond the Dharmas either, their great ripening result will be to go to bad migrations. Again and again they will be aiming for grounds of bad migrations. For 8 eons they will experience the suffering sensations of the hell realms. For 12 eons they will experience the suffering sensations in the lands of Pretas. For 16 eons they will be born among the Asuras. For 9,000 eons they will be born among the harmful Bhutas and Pishachas. For 14,000 eons they will be without tongues. For 16,000 eons they will die in their mother's womb. For 12,000 eons they will become round lumps of flesh. For 11,000 eons they will be born blind and will experience suffering sensations, and their parents will think, "We have suffered meaninglessly. The birth of our son was meaningless. Bearing him in the womb for 9 months was meaningless." They will experience the sensation of cold and heat. They will also experience the suffering of hunger and thirst intensely. They will experience many sufferings in this life as well. Although the parents see a son in their house, there is no joy, and the parents' hopes will be utterly dashed. Sarvashura, in this way, sentient beings who abandon the holy Dharma are aiming for hell and animal rebirths. At their time of death, they will be pierced with great agonizing pains. Sarvashura, those who say, the Dharma exists, there are those who go beyond the Dharmas, will be born in the north on Uttarakuru for 20 eons by that root of virtue. For 25 eons they will be born equal in fortune to the Devas of the 33. When they die and transmigrate from the 33, they will be born in the north on Uttarakuru. They will not be born in a mother's womb. They will see 100,000 world systems, and these will all be called Sukhavati. They will see all the Buddha fields as well. After seeing them, they will abide right there in them. They will be enlightened in perfect and complete enlightenment right there. Sarvashura, thus indeed this Sanghata Dharma Pariyaya has great power. Those who have a mind inspired with pure faith toward it will never meet their moment of death without having let go of their fears. They will also be endowed with perfectly pure ethics. Sarvashura, there are some sentient beings who say, the Tathagata releases many sentient beings day and night, and yet the realm of sentient beings still has not been depleted. Many make prayers for enlightenment. Many are born in the worlds of higher rebirths. Many achieve nirvana. So why is it that the realm of sentient beings has not been depleted? The heretical practitioners of other traditions, wandering mendicants, and naked ascetics had this thought, let us go dispute with the renunciate Gautama. Then 84,000 Brahmins, heretical practitioners of other traditions, and wandering mendicants, and many hundreds of naked ascetics arrived there in Rajagriha. And at that time, at that moment, the Blessed One displayed a smile. At that, the Bodhisattva, the great being Maitreya, arose from his seat, placed his upper robe over one shoulder, set his right knee on the ground, and bowed down with palms together toward the Blessed One. He addressed the Blessed One as follows. Blessed One, since Tathagatas, Arhats, perfect and complete Buddhas do not smile without cause and without conditions, what is the cause of the smile and what is the condition? The Blessed One said, Child of the lineage, listen. Today a great assembly will appear here in Rajagriha. Blessed One, who will be here? Devas, or Nagas, or Yakshas, or humans, or non-humans? The Blessed One said, Maitreya, today Devas, Nagas, Yakshas, humans, and non-humans will all come here. 84,000 Brahmins will also come here. 9,000 million heretical practitioners, wandering mendicants, and naked ascetics will come, and they will dispute with me. I will teach the Dharma to pacify the disputes of all of them. The Brahmins will all generate the thought of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. The 9,000 million heretical practitioners, wandering mendicants, and naked ascetics will all attain the fruit of stream entry. 18,000 million Naga kings will come, and they will hear the Dharma from me. After they have heard it, they will all generate the thought of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. 60,000 million children of the Devas of the pure abodes will come. 30,000 million wicked Maras and their attendants will come. 12,000 million Asura kings will come. Kings 500 in number, together with their retinues, will come to hear the Dharma. After hearing the Dharma from me, they will all generate the thought of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. At that, the Bodhisattva, the great being Maitreya, prostrated with his head at the feet of the Blessed One, and after circumambulating the Blessed One 3 times, disappeared on that very spot. At that, the Bodhisattva, the great being Sarvashura, arose from his seat, placed his upper robe over one shoulder, set his right knee on the ground, placed his palms together, and bowed down to the Blessed One. He said to the Blessed One, Blessed One, what are the names of those kings, 500 in number? The Blessed One said, Sarvashura, listen. There is the king called Nanda, the king called Upananda, the king called Jinnarshabha, the king called Brahmasena, the king called Brahmaghorsha, the king called Sudarshana, the king called Priyasena, the king called Nandasena, the king called Bimbisara, the king called Prasenajit, and the king called Virugraka. There are these and the rest of the kings, 500 number, and each of them has 100,000 million attendants. With the exception of Virugraka, each and every one of them has set out for unsurpassed perfect and complete enlightenment.